full-time Tuppy.
You're on Sunnycon?
Yes, well, co-organiser.
Yeah. How did Sunnycon come about and what
So we'd set up trading as Tuppy's Anime, which is general anime store online, in 2010, and from there we went to our first convention, Sunnycon, which was also 2010, and basically we saw that we wanted it for Sunderland, so we thought, yeah, we'll start planning for something like this where we live, and that's basically where Sunnycon came about.
My mates, I met them about when I was 19, so 2 years ago, and they had cosplay, so I was like, oh, I'll buy my own, and since then I've been cosplaying.
Final Fantasy X was the first game I played, and well, the Final Fantasy series, and it's always one I've loved, and I really love Tidus, and it's always been something that I've loved, and the character, I related to her as a child growing up, because I was really reserved, and then I became out of my shell. I've always loved this particular outfit of hers the most, and it is actually a childhood dream, really.
It just makes me feel like, you know, I get to wear pretty clothes and dress up as characters that I love, and it's just a really fun feeling. Well, it was actually when I first watched Sailor Moon, and I looked Sailor Moon stuff up on eBay, and it said it had cosplays of all the characters, and I was like, cosplay, interesting. So I've always wanted to do a Sailor Moon cosplay.
It's just really fun. I like to play the character for a day, and if it's really a character you love, then it's really fun.
Yeah, it's just luck, really.
Don't knock it before you try it, really.
I do a lot of armour work and things like that as far as impressive costumes go, because the most impressive male costumes tend to be armour, big stuff. I've done an Iron Man and a big Siegfried from Soul Calibur. I really just like sewing when it comes down to it, because you can pack it away in a suitcase, it takes up less space in my house. But a week ago we actually broke the sort of tab only does sewing costume now rule and made a duct tape Big O costume. It's a mecha anime series, and we decided I do costume commissions. I had a week left before Minami, which is our hometown con. We wanted to do a skit, so we made a bunch of costumes out of duct tape. Actually turned out a lot better than expected. And I would say it's one of the sturdiest mech suits I've actually ever made. Duct tape is quite impressive with its skills. The thing that got me into costumes was actually doing skit work and things like that, because I like performance and things. Best thing is just start with whatever you've got. A lot of people think that you have to turn up and it's a big thing that's already been created or done. That's true for things like cosplay or stuff like that, but with steampunk it's more about just adding little things to an outfit.
About 18 months. We started at NCM October 2010. We've sort of been going since then. We've been doing about one event a month, so it's been pretty good. We sell manga, obviously from the name. We sell the DVDs, and we've sort of tried to expand a bit into dresses, which we have got from a shop in London, and some little key rings, which my friend found me import from, I'm not quite sure where, but there was a robot unicorn yesterday, which was pretty good, but I think she sort of ruined it a little bit for me with the giant stuffed rainbow penis she had with her. I think that's a broken rainbow unicorn for me forever. But no, there've been some really good ones. They've really put the effort in here. Great. So
I think there were so many good costumes, it was quite hard to pick, but there was a girl I noticed that did a Black Rock shooter cosplay, and she had it all handmade and she had a weapon as well, so I think she deserves a mention, and she had all the blue light up lights as well, so that was really good.
I play this guy named Vegeta. He's this really sweet character. He's really, really nice guy. And the only problem, he suffers from a slight case of the hemorrhoids, so he tends to strain a lot. There's this other guy named Piccolo. He's about this tall, green, and he's not a Yoshi. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, he's and Piccolo's job in the Dragon Ball Z series is essentially just to tell Gohan what to do. Just stage directions.
Gohan, go, stay, good, Gohan.
I'm a voice actor from the United States. I started with Funimation in around 1998, and I directed the Dragon Ball Z series, at least the US dub version of the Dragon Ball Z series. Sunnycon is awesome, actually. I've been to a lot of conventions over the years, and I actually I wasn't sure what to expect because I knew this was a first-year con, but in dealing with Michael and the guys from Tucky's Anime, they were actually really, really cool, easygoing people. He was really cool about getting me out here. Took care of me like really well, got me great flights, and I just wasn't sure what to expect, but I found that this convention is actually just kind of a small version of a really awesome convention in the United States. Maybe even better in some ways, because he was really cool about bringing out like a lot of like Japanese culture, like good Japanese food, awesome like Japanese entertainment. They had kendo yesterday. It was really rad. I saw a lot of stuff that I haven't even seen in the States. This is about my third exposure to the UK fan base. Like, I found that fans are sort of fans no matter where you go. They're kind of like this same breed of people no matter what. Like, everyone's excited about the same thing. I will say though that the fans in the UK are extremely polite. They're extremely polite until they get to know you, and then it's wheels off, man. And it's anything they want to ask, they're gonna ask you. It's like at first everyone was really polite, but then once they realized I was kind of willing to pretty much say whatever they asked me to, it just became like sticking another quarter and wind me up and say whatever.
I take my artwork from a lot of different influences. I think initially I was very inspired by the Final Fantasy games, and that's where I got into like understanding what anime and the kind of Japanese side of it was. So I used to do a lot more kind of game type art and creating, characters and worlds, and I think that still is definitely an interest to me, creating my own thing. Not really doing fan art, but yeah, I enjoy the idea that there's a larger world behind the drawings that I do.
Just the general atmosphere is absolutely brilliant. It's great to meet people who are just the same, because I was always a loner at school because I was a bit weird for like games and anime, and it's now nice to meet people who are just like me, and it's very nice. It totally depends on the character and the character's like attitude and stuff like that, and the person who's obviously doing it, whether or not they're comfortable with it.
Definitely.
Check it out! Is there an element?
It depends
Just
what character you pick.
Admittedly, it depends on the character, but definitely.
It's like, not so much. Oh, a bit.
Well, considering you're bare chested.
Sorry? Famous characters, ones that are done really well. So, not necessarily ones that show lots of skin, but just ones that are really well done tend to get a lot more attention, or especially well-known characters, because people want to photo. You usually want a photo with them, so people usually ask you.
I think it's fantastic. It's a great space. The people are amazing. I've met so many interesting people who know way more than I do about anything I've ever worked on. Much more about anime than I've ever knew that I was missing out on. And all of the artists here are fantastic. Being in Sunderland is great. I've had great meals, and it's been really terrific. It's extraordinary, especially that so many people have come out and I know that when Tucky was setting this whole thing up, he didn't expect that so many people would come. And it's extraordinary that there is such a need for something like this. And I think, first of all, conventions, for everyone to have a place to come together. You may be reading manga at home, or you may be watching anime, and you don't know how many other people right near you have the same interests, and to come to something like this, and everyone's so friendly. It's terrific. It's so creative and imaginative. The costumes, I could go on and on. People have made these costumes. They are wearing them. It looks like they wear it every day. It's such a part of themselves. I think it's great that there's such an outlet for people to dress up as their favorite characters, and you really do make friends through things like that. It's great. Plus, I've seen a lot of Ash Ketchum, so.
What do you think?
Oh, it's really great. I have an Ash Ketchum hat at home, but I don't really wear it that much, so maybe I should bring it to a convention. But it is really neat. For myself as an actor, I go to work and I sit in a tiny booth with my headphones on, alone, maybe a director, an engineer on the other side of the glass, but that's it. So to be able to come out and see how far what you've worked on has reached, that's a really amazing thing. I mean, all of us, whatever job you do, you don't realize that ripple effect of how many people that you touch through just your daily actions. So it's a great reminder to me to do my best all the time, because you don't know who's going to be watching.
It's possibly a fancy dress, but it was, whereas fancy dresses you go to the store, you can hire a costume or you can make a costume, and with cosplay you make it from scratch, you start out with a planet. It's like a proper tech-sized project, and some people are really skilled at it, and you can tell down to the minor detail, like putting costume in the same place as it is, or like it's a certain stitching away. It's quite amazing. The thought and the process that they go through to make it. Well, with the cosplay scene, generally in the northeast, like I say, when it's basically it's just starting to grow a lot recently, and that started off with Nemicon, and I believe they started off with like 300 people there. And the second year they had 700, and we had like 900, and it's really grown, because we've noticed that there's a lot more like little patches and pockets of fans here and there, and they started their own groups, and cosplayers grew from that. For next Sunnycon, would like to keep making it bigger, and with the first one we're at Rotary Leisure Centre, and they give us max attendance of 1,000. This time we're at the Seaburn Centre, which 2,000 maximum attendance we've been given. So we'd like to become the biggest convention in the UK. But it's in our second year, we still know there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of things to be ironed out. But we're hopeful of getting there.